Hello and welcome back to Phoenix, the sunshine of the West here, other than California Motor Speedway, of course. As we go West Coast racing here, chase race number 8, race 34 of the Coke Vanilla Cup Series season. We have 47 laps on tap here today, and Jack Smith and John Azela will start on the front row. Tom Gerard looking for that first career win, as he has started every single race so far in the Coke Vanilla Cup Series. Yet to do it. Seth Cole will start alongside. Adam Derrickson, Dylan Young, row 3. Dylan Young's been on a roll in this chase. Man, too bad he couldn't brought this to begin the season. William Duncan, who comes into this race 8th in the points, will start in row number 4 alongside Jeffrey Buckeye. And the car that was announced that Charles Jackson will drive next season. Kyle Austin and Jeff James, row 5.
Drivers, start your engines.
Gonna try and find the points leader, Charles Jackson. He starts towards the back, but he's on the inside. That should bode well for him. Henry Sanford, Drew Austin also back here, as someone appears to have had issues. Jacob Budd, the 13 car, has stalled on the grid. So we'll have to see if he's able to get going. Let's see, make sure everyone else got good to go. Looks as though that is the case. Field's coming through turn number 3 already. So we will not break away, as the pace car will pull off here in just a few seconds. And we will be set to go here once again. We had a nice, great race yesterday for 32 laps. And we saw Kyle Sosnowski grab his second win of the season. Trying for the Phoenix sweep. Not going to be for the weekend sweep here today, as the green flag's out. John Azela beats our pole sitter to the race line. But can Jack Smith at least lead lap 1? No, he's not even going to lead off turn 1, as it looks like the field's still green here. Seth Cole will take the top spot for a moment at least, as Jack Smith's in the wall, but Dylan Young's going to take the lead. And the caution flag is out as they come to the line. Dylan Young leads at the stripe. And we have Matt Benassi, Jerry Shelley, Harrison Buckeye, Brad Johnson, Chris Washer, Gene Sanford, Pichu London involved. Hard to tell about Sam Young, although they're wrecking up here. Kyle Thomas has gone around. Drew Austin nearly got turned. Looks like most of the chasers faring well right there, though. Brad Johnson has already pulled it behind the wall. We'll see if the leaders make pit stops here during the caution. They don't, so let's take you back to see what happened here to bring out the caution here on lap number 1. And we're back. We found all the drivers that we saw involved. Oh, Chris Washer gets turned by Brennan Patterson. Oh my gosh. There's Harrison Buckeye getting involved. There's Pichu London. There's Jerry Shelley. Time to see where these other guys got their damage. Oh, wow. Look at this. They stack up a little bit. Brad Johnson gets into the 41. Gets the back end of that car airborne, and they both hit the 4. Kind of almost lose it there. No surprise that Brad Johnson is retired. I wouldn't be surprised to see others retire as well. Let's take you back to the green flag here from Phoenix. And we are back. Harrison Buckeye, the other retirement here to join Brad Johnson. Dylan Young is your leader. Jacob Budd, as you can see, has gone back rolling, or has gone rolling here. He is 2 laps down. Seth Cole runs second, and it's Tom Gerard, William Duncan, Jeff James, John Azela, Jack Smith, Adam Derrickson, Devin Whitson, Jeffrey Buckeye, and Jeffrey Buckeye, your top 10. Kyle Austin runs 11th, and Danny Everett, Kyle Sosnowski, Derek Benassi, Sky Commons, Trevor Meacham, Tom Shelley, Mary Shelley, Charles Sanford, and Elijah Workman in the top 20. Derek Benassi is the only driver to have less top 10s than Charles Jackson does. Charles Jackson only has 4 top 10s for the season. He is leading the points as we get back to racing here with 5 laps complete here at Phoenix. So, by the way, easily understood why Charles Jackson not a favorite to have won the title when he officially made the chase, seeing as that was his stat line. 1 win, he's gotten 3 top 5s and 4 top 10s now. But I think he came in to the chase with 1, 2, and 3 as Jack Smith, Jeffrey Buckeye go around on the front straightaway. And did the caution flag come out? Yes, it did. So it looks as though Dylan Young will lead back to the stripe. It's a matter of if Jacob Budd will be able to grab us lap back, and no, he will not. Jeff James runs second. John Azalea, Tom Gerard, Seth Cole, and Devin Whitson. Or sorry, that's your top 6. Okay. So quite an interesting thing to happen there. It looks as though we're going to have pit stops underneath the caution. And on lap 8, I'm not sure if these guys will be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel, but we'll have to see. Here comes Dylan Young and Field joining him on pit road. So we'll have to see. Let's look at this as they come down and hit their stalls. Tires going on to the right side of the 16 car. Some drivers staying out though. Kyle Austin down and away. He will win the race off pit road as Dylan Young goes for 4 tires. Now he's down away. Wow. Okay, so let's take you back to see what happened to bring out the caution then. And we are back. William Duncan and Jack Smith making contact after William Duncan got the wall. Jack Smith just trying to save it a little bit. Makes contact with Jeffrey Buckeye, and both of them turn their cars around. So a simple little spin there brings out the caution flag, and we'll bring you right back for more green flag racing here from the Phoenix International Speedway. And we are back. Kyle Thomas is your race leader, followed by Alex Jones, then Daniel Day, Jake Rogers, Drew Austin, Matt Dixon, Kyle Austin, Jeff Ozzie Jr., John McNamara, and Sky Cummins. We have 3 of the remaining chasers still in contention. Oh wait, never mind. We only have 2. Drew Austin, Matt Dixon in the top 10. Mary Shelley runs 11th, Tom Shelley 12th, Elijah Workman, Dylan Young, Warren Cherry, Charles Jackson, John Azalea, Brennan Patterson, Jeff James, and Bob Johansson is your top 20. Good comeback right now for Charles Jackson as he runs in the 14th spot. Green flag is back out, and Kyle Thomas for Penske Racing leads the field down. Daniel Day makes a peek to the inside, trying to tie Adam Derrickson for most wins in the Coke Vanilla Cup Series in all-time wins with 5. He could do that with a win here tonight as they're 3 wide for the race lead. Jacob Budd's loving that as he's trying to try and gap him a little bit here. No caution yet though as Drew Austin climbs to 4th and is looking inside for 3rd. That's Drew Austin. Kyle Austin making a move on Matt Dixon for the 6th position as Drew Austin got real loose off that corner. Saves it though and will block the 2 of Jake Rogers to prevent Drew himself from losing a position here on the track as Alex Jones comes to the inside now looking for the race lead. And he will take the top spot as Drew Austin clears Kyle Thomas for the 3rd position. And coming down, trying to maybe get underneath the 1, not able to just yet. Jake Rogers into 4th. There's Kyle Austin now into the top 5. And Sky Commons looks for a spot for the 6th position. As there's smoke on the front straightaway, the caution flag has come out. And it looked as though there were drivers that might have come down pit road. Sam Young is a lap down. Jacob Budd earned a lap back though. Now, just as long as he isn't pit underneath the caution here, he's fine. Or at least not pitting on this first lap. And he won't. Okay. So we'll bring you back to see what happened to bring out the caution. And we're back, and this one appears to have started with some drivers maybe making a late decision to pit. We focus in on the 35. I mean, look how late. Okay, well. Okay, so that's why. He's going to commit to trying to go down the pit road here. Make some contact with Bob Johansson. This is Jeff Ozzie Jr. we're talking about here in the 35. You see the contact there. Gets the 35 a little bit loose. Still making more contact there. Jeff James and Jerry Shelley tapping fenders here a little bit. Those two have some history here this season. But then they're going to come off here. Henry Sanford gets a little loose. Is going to try and avoid the now slowed a little bit, 27. Comes up into Devin Whitson, who will not be afraid to turn him into the 41 of Gene Sanford. Around goes to 30, and that's what brings out the caution. As they didn't really have much of a choice. And all 3 Sanfords involved in this one, as Charles Sanford hits the 30 on the way down. Kyle Sosnowski gets a piece of this. Derek Benassi looks to have, yep, he gets a piece of it. And it doesn't look as though anyone else is going to get involved unless the 30 just slides down the track. And then apparently Jeffrey was still not too happy with the 50 about the last caution, because he's going to end up running into the back of the 50 when they slow down underneath the caution here. And with that, we'll bring you back for the green flag here from Phoenix. And we are back. Tom Shelley is not your race leader. It is not John McNamara. It is Warren Cherry. Charles Jackson runs 2nd. Then Dylan Young 3rd. John Azale 4th. Bob Johansson in 5th. Brennan Patterson 6th. Danny Everett, Jeff James, Trevor Meacham, and Jerry Shelley, the top 10. Devin Whitson, Tom Gerard, Kyle Sosnowski, Charles Sanford, William Duncan, Pichu London, Seth Cole, Adam Derrickson, Henry Sanford, and Chris Walsh to the top 20. Jack Smith, Matt Benassi, Daniel Day, Alex Jones, Drew Austin, Kyle Thomas, Matt Dixon, Jake Rogers, Elijah Workman, Sky Commons, Gene Sanford, Kyle Austin, Mary Shelley, Jeffrey Buckeye, Derek Benassi, your lead lap cars. No new retirements, but like we said, Sam Young and now Jeff Ozzie Jr. also a lap down, but they are on the tail end of the lead lap, as are the 12 and the 97. Jacob Budd is 1 lap down as well. Green flag's out. Poor restart for the 10, and now all 5 of those drivers are back on the tail end of the lead lap, as here comes Charles Jackson for the race lead. John Azala almost peeking inside the 16 of Dylan Young. Here comes Dylan, though. He wants the race lead, as they're 3 wide in front of the leaders. Jackson, oh boy, this is trouble. I saw the caution flag out. Tom Shelley's going to be a lap down. So is John McNamara. And around goes the 12. Keep off the wall. Nope. The good news is, though, Sam Young, Jacob Budd, and Jeff Ozzie Jr. all get their laps back. Now just making sure that they don't pit here. And they will not. We'll watch the leaders, see if they pit. It doesn't appear that way, though. And so with that, we'll bring you back to see what happened to bring out the caution, and then what happened on the front straightaway. And we're back. Here's where this one, actually, we're going to have to take a little bit farther back, apparently. Here's where this one started. Alex Jones gets into Daniel Day a little bit, sends him up into Matt Benassi. That sends Benassi into the wall. Matt Dixon, Kyle Thomas making contact. They get turned around. Elijah Workman gets a loose underneath the 33, turns him around. Derek Benassi hits Matt Benassi, and Gene Sanford got turned, apparently, by the 20 of Kyle Austin. Let's take a look at that. And that is correct. So, wow, yeah. Sky Commons actually makes contact with the 29. So, a lot of people actually getting lucky here that this... Actually, a little bit lucky that this wasn't bigger wreck. With that, let's take you back to the green flag here, where Dylan Young should be your race leader. And we are back. Dylan Young is indeed your leader. No retirements underneath the caution. Charles Jackson continues to pace in second. Warren Cherry is third. John Zala, Brennan Patterson, Jeff James, Trevor Meacham, Bob Johansson, Danny Everett, and Jerry Shelley is their top 10. Tom Gerard runs 11th, and Devin Whitson, Kyle Sosnowski, William Duncan, Pichu London, Charles Sanford, Seth Cole, Adam Derrickson, Henry Sanford, and Jack Smith, the top 20. Chris Washer, Alex Jones, Matt Dixon, Jake Rogers, Drew Austin, Mary Shelley, Jeffrey Buckeye, Sky Commons, Daniel Day, and Matt Benassi, your top 30. And so John McNamara and Tom Shelley are your only two lapped vehicles. Everyone else on the lead lap. Green flag is back out. We're underway once again, as McNamara trying to get a lap back from his Roush Fenway teammate here. Tom Shelley makes a peek underneath as well. Oh, and they turned! And there's Jackson! They're still wrecking. Duncan's in it. Derrickson's around. This is the big one. Sanford, Drew Austin, Mary Shelley. What chaser is not involved in this? A huge wreck. John Azale leads. Meacham survived. Everett survived. That appears to be it. Every other chaser now is damaged as Sam Young was bouncing off the walls. Wow. A huge wreck. And if you ask me, probably an unneeded wreck, as teammates start this one out. We'll bring you back to show you all the carnage that has happened. And we're back. And if there's one thing you do not do in any form of auto racing, is turn your teammate, and that's exactly what Dylan Young just did, and it causes a huge wreck that will collect 6 of the 8 chasers here, as there's Charles Jackson getting involved, there's Meacham and Everett getting around this. Jerry Shelley gets involved, but he's not a chaser, or at least not in contention. There's Duncan, the second one to get into this. Adam Derrickson's going to get turned by Henry Sanford. That's 3. There's Alex Jones and Jake Rogers back there. But there's 3 and 4 with Matt Dixon. There's 5, Mary Shelley. Drew Austin getting a piece of this. 6. And in fact, we'll actually get put 2, almost 3 wheels into the air. 6 chasers involved in this one, as Elijah Workman even took a bounce off the wall as well and got some air. And we will bring you back with a very much smaller field here, as a huge wreck happens on the back straightaway. Probably could have been avoided. John Zala is your leader. And we're back. Charles Jackson, Jake Rogers, Elijah Workman, William Duncan, Kyle Austin, Jeff Ozzie Jr., and Alex Jones, those that have retired. John Azale leads. Brennan Patterson runs second. Jeff James, Trevor Meacham, Danny Everett, Bob Johansson, Tom Gerard, Kyle Sosnowski, Peachy London, and Seth Cole is your top 10. Charles Sanford runs 11th, and Warren Cherry in the other Wizard of Oz car. Devin Whitson, Matt Dixon, Jack Smith, Drew Austin, Ann Derrickson, Jeffrey Buckeye, Gene Sanford, and Daniel Day, the top 20. As we have 27 cars on the lead lap, Henry Sanford's car continues to be serviced on pit road. He is 2 laps behind the race leaders. Going to be 3 as they get to the line. As Jeff Ozzie Jr., what a jump there over the 17. As now here comes, oh boy. Jeff James now clears. So does Meacham as they come off there. Come off the dog leg. But it's a big lead for John Azela. Caution is out. Jacob Budd, Chris Washer, and Sky Commons. And Danny Everett has gone around. And he's smoking. Watch your back, Trevor Meacham. Let's take a look back at what happened for this one. And we're back. Obviously not surprised that the lap cars held some people up here. But Seth Cole, I figured, would be able to show a little bit more patience than this. He just flat out turns Chris Washer. A little bit needless if you ask me, but then they're 4 wide back there. Matt Dixon gets clipped by someone, but they save it. And along comes the 11 of Sky Commons. He drills them. There's Jacob Budd, absolutely nowhere to go. And those 3 will be pretty much done for the race. Now, what happened to end Danny Everett's night? He's into the wall with Jerry Shelley. As I save my computer from going into sleep mode. Yay! Tom Gerard looks to have gone into the 99. And he does, and apparently I hit some buttons. Okay. Kyle Snosky makes sure, though, that Tom Gerard goes around and will not go and be unscathed from this one. So yeah, if you heard any like weird sounds that were not talking, that was me trying to save my computer from going. Oh, I pressed spacebar at some point. Okay. So a lot of mess happening there, and I nearly lost the entire race. So, but you guys wouldn't know anything about that, except for the fact that I'm telling you. We'll bring you back for the green flag here. Less than 20 laps to go in this crazy one so far. And we are back. Danny Everett, Sky Commons, Jacob Budd, and Chris Washer were the retirees. No surprises there. John Zala is your leader, then Brennan Patterson, Jeff James, Trevor Meacham, and Bob Johansson still runs as your top 5. Then Charles Sanford in 6th. I'm sorry. Kyle Snosky 7th. Tom Gerard, Pichu London, and Warren Cherry is your top 10. Seth Coles in 11th. Devin Whitson 12th. Jack Smith 13th. Adam Derrickson, Matt Dixon, Mary Shelley, Dylan Young, Daniel Day, Jeffrey Buckeye, and Tom Shelley the top 20, with Sam Young, Drew Austin, Derek Benassi, and Gene Sanford your lead up cars and your top 24. McNamara, Thomas, Shelley, and Benassi your 4 lap down cars here in this one. As the pace car pulls off, field under control of the car along racing Dodge of John Azela. And we are back to racing. Trevor Meacham did not get going all that well. Caught a little sleep in there. And this ought to be interesting. Okay, did we survive? No, we did not. Oh! Sanford upside down and stays on his roof. As the tumultuous season continues for that car. It's been 51 races since he's last won. And Trevor Meacham, get off of Brendan Patterson. Come on, buddy. Got a great run going. Daniel Day, Derek Benassi, Matt Dixon, more issues. Mary Shelley, Jerry Shelley, Gene Sanford's done. The other Sanford's done. Shelley, Tom, Buckeye, London, Johansson, Sosnowski I saw involved. Tom Gerard's got damage. Who doesn't have damage at this point? Oh, that's right. These guys up here. Okay, well, let's take a look back at what happened. And we are back. And there's just absolutely... Oh, Sosnowski gets into Jerry Shelley and pretty much turns his own teammate into the wall. Johansson getting innocent bystander in this one. Now, what happened back here? Wow. Whoa. I didn't see Benassi down there. Okay, so what happened with the 1? Okay, so let's see. Daniel Day is going to get into Jeffrey Buckeye, into Matt Dixon. Mary Shelley gets a piece of this as well. They, of course, send the... Oh, the 12 is the one that propels them. Watch the 12 just kind of propel the 8 into the 24 here. Oh, man. So a lot of stuff just going wrong there in that one. And it's just been a terrible season for the 24 car. 34th in points, and they've pretty much all but fired him. They won't be bringing him back. They've had enough of that, of the ill performance from Sanford, because it's going to be a second straight season of it finishing in the 30s in points, despite being in that type of equipment. We'll bring you back for the green flag, though. Should have about a 10-lap shootout, a little bit less than that, as we get ready to go here from Phoenix once again. And we're back, and it will be an exact 10-lap shootout. 9 to go when they hit the stripe. John Zala leads, and it's Jeff James, Brennan Patterson, Trevor Meacham, Kyle Thomas is a lap down. Warren Cherry's in 5th. Devin Whitson, Seth Cole, Jack Smith, Dylan Young, and Adam Derrickson is your top 10. Sam Young runs 11th somehow. Drew Austin, Tom Gerard, Kyle Sosnowski, Bob Johansson, Derek Benassi, and Pichu London's in 17th. Okay, those are your lead lap cars. Matt Dixon, Daniel Day, Charles Sanford, Tom Shelley, Jeffrey Buckeye, and Jerry Shelley all have retired, leaving 22 cars on the track, 17 of which are on the lead lap. Like I said, a 9-lap shootout here to decide this one. And a couple guys who have had a iffy season, to say at best, because John Zala comes in this race 27th in points. Jeff James, of course, had the injury and announcing that he was not going to be returning to DEI next season. Will be driving for Evernham in the exact car that Brad Johnson's driving this season. So kind of a surprise there, but also Napa will not be coming with them on that. As the caution flag comes out, Jeff James leads at Phoenix. Kyle Sosnowski's involved. Pichu London, John McNamara, Derek Benassi. We're not even going to cut because I have a feeling I know exactly what happened on this one. Okay, a little bit of what I thought happened. Trevor Meacham actually will be the one that turns the 97 of John McNamara. Gets him kind of out of the way, essentially. And who's going to hit McNamara first? Oh, it's Sosnowski. Okay, so what happens after Sosnowski hits the car? it instantly erupts both cars in black smoke. Johansson makes contact with him. Benassi made contact with the 88, and the 18 jacks up the 80. Mary Shelley and Gene Sanford both making contact in this one. And that is what will end Kyle Sosnowski's night, as well as John McNamara's. And with that, we'll bring you back for the green flag here from Phoenix. And we are back, and we are set up with a 4-lap shootout to decide this one. Jeff James is your leader. John Azalea in second, Brendan Patterson third, and Trevor Meacham fourth. Warren Cherry runs fifth. Kyle Thomas a lap down. Devin Whitson sixth. Derrickson seventh. Gerard, Dylan Young, and Seth Cole is your top 10. Jack Smith, Sam Young, Drew Austin, Matt Benassi's a lap down. Bob Johansson runs in 14th. Shelley's a lap down. Benassi's a lap down. London's a lap down. And Sanford is a lap down. So we have 14 cars on the lead lap. And 5 cars before our first lap car. Those people will have the best chance of winning this one here tonight. And remember, if Trevor Meacham can win here tonight, he is locked in to the points battle for the finale, guaranteed no matter what happens next week at Darlington. Meacham knows that he goes for third. John Azalea will go for the race lead as they come through turn number 1 and off of turn number 2. Meacham into third already now. John Azalea still inside, but will not be there now. Still green as they come through this turn. Patterson looks for third. Nothing going yet. Still green. If a caution comes out, the race will end under caution. We have 3 laps to go here from Phoenix. And the top 4 single file. Warren Cherry has faded a little bit there. Still no caution. That's good. As they're going to come to 2 laps to go here from Phoenix. Does John Azalea have anything for the 15 of Jeff James? It doesn't appear, though, as such, as now Trevor Meacham, who could easily be the points leader leaving here, trying to look on John Azalea for the second spot. Still no caution. We're going to race it back to a checkered flag, guaranteed. It's been a horrendous season for Jeff James, to say the least. What it could be if he could maybe build some momentum going into next season. He has 1 set of turns to go as we go to TV2 and through the final set of corners. Off turn number 4, it's going to be Jeff James grabbing the win here today at Phoenix, or here tonight. Jeff James is your winner. John Azalea finishes second. Trevor Meacham, Brendan Patterson, Tom Gerard, Warren Cherry, Seth Cole, Devin Whitson, Adam Derrickson, Jack Smith, Dylan Young, Bob Johansson, Sam Young, and Drew Austin, your lead lap finishers. If you finished 21st or below, you were out of the race and probably aren't even watching at this point anyway. So we have just 2 races left to go in this season. We'll be at Darlington next week. We'll decide the final 4. And then we will go to Homestead to decide our Season 2 2004 Coke Vanilla Cup Series champion. I'm Gordon Fan 291. This has been a production of the INORL Racing Uncontained. Let's take you down to the victory celebration here from Phoenix. And Jeff James, sure that little pause was to go and get his emotions in check here as he gets ready to burn the rear tires off that car. It's been a while. 40 plus races since his last win. I mean, I'd have to actually pull it up to show how, to see how many it is, but I will actually, you'll be able to see it because I'll be able to check it before then, and I'll show you guys how long it has been since Jeff James last won in the Coke Vanilla Cup Series. It was season 1 at Daytona Race 17. Now I know you guys probably do the math and all that if you haven't already, if you just didn't look at it or something. But remember, he missed 2 races this season due to an injury. So it's not been that many races. So like Daytona was not the 36 race mark, but it's been over 40 races. So a long winless streak snapped. And it looks as though he's going to do something that's only been done once before in Coke Vanilla Cup Series action in the history of these post-race or these victory celebrations. He's doing a Polish victory lap. Remember, the only other person to do it was Tony Hurd as the when he celebrated his first his championship last season. I'm sure what this is all trying to do is just let Jeff savor this moment a little bit. He knows now exactly how long these can take, and he doesn't know when this next one will come, obviously. But definitely got to be a over-ecstatic guy down in that car. Decided to just focus on getting the DEI car back into trim, and it paid off. As he gets the win, Wayne James is actually going to win in the other car that he drove at one point. But we'll see you guys next week. We got 2 races from Pigs Creek, and then we have Darlington for the Cup race, and then the finales. We'll see you guys then. Now let's actually, before I forget, let's roll out the points here after this one to show you guys who's in danger of being eliminated next week at Darlington.